everyone, and welcome back to Girlfriend We Got You. I am your host, Ashley Allen, and I am joined here today by my beautiful and hilarious and wonderful co-host, Melissa Marie.
Hey Ash.
Hey, Mel. And today we are talking about not your average Valentine.
Ooh, I love this.
It's going to be so good because we are going to talk about the difference in what we're taught to believe that Valentine's Day should be and how we are making our own rules on how Valentine's Day should be.
I love that. Yes. I'm all about making my own rules. Yes. And definitely this year, I feel like I'm making my own rules. This is definitely a different year for me when it comes to Valentine's Day.
I think it's awesome. You know what? It's different for me too, and it's different for me too.
Now, with your kids, do you celebrate Valentine's Day with your kids?
I do. Well, I do. I usually get them I'll make them little Valentine's Day baskets or little treats or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's nothing huge, but it's usually a little stuffed animal, some candies, maybe a gift card or something that I know they kind of been wanting. Maybe a balloon. My daughter, I'll get her flowers, stuff like that. But just lots of little things. I don't go too crazy for them on Valentine's. And then, sometimes I'll order them that heart-shaped pizza,
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Just something kind of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I normally don't celebrate Valentine's Day on, actual Valentine's Day. With my partner, I don't.
Yeah.
And it's not because I don't want to or we don't want to. It's literally because we usually have other stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And honestly,
absolutely.
Even way back when I was married, I didn't want to go out. We usually would order out at a restaurant and pick it up and bring it home and eat at home. And then have a nice quiet evening,
Oh.
Because it's so packed everywhere and everybody just kind of glamorizes it. I mean, I just really like to use it as an excuse to get a gift and eat really good food.
I love it. I know. I hear you on that one.
Yes. And so this year we're going to celebrate on the Friday before. So we're going to spend, our day that's the plan, depends on our work schedules. But yeah. So just kind of spend the day together hanging out. We might go see a movie.
I like that.
Just very casual, give each other our gifts, and then of course have a little other types of fun. But then
oh yeah.
because Monday I think I have 2 different appointments and then I have work and then he's got an appointment with his accountant because he's got to file his taxes. So
I love it.
I mean,
right?
It's funny. And then of course, I like to do stuff with my kids. So Monday, I'm going to do stuff with them. So anyway.
Yeah, I get that. I do stuff for my kids too. Now this year they're with their father. So next weekend I'll have something a nice little surprise for them when they come in the door. So I like to do something little for my kids too. Yeah.
We should totally make some time and get on Zoom or something. And then I don't know, we should do something fun.
Yeah.
We could have a drink and just have so much fun. Cause my kids literally, I can tell you right now, I'm probably going to order that heart-shaped pizza and they're just going to chill out and I don't know, I'm going to rent a movie or something.
I love that. Is there a Housewives that is on Monday? That would be a good one for us. No, there isn't.
I don't think so because Jersey premiered on the 1st, which was a Tuesday.
Oh, so Jersey's now on Tuesdays?
I'm thinking, sometimes Bravo switches up the schedule, but I don't know. I'll have to look. That would be so great if we could just, oh my God, that would be the perfect Galentine's.
I know that would be the perfect Galentine's. And in honor of Margaret today, if you know the Housewives of New Jersey, Margaret drinks her iced coffee out of her wine glasses, which she looks fabulous. So this morning I'm doing that. So cheers to Margaret.
it's funny because you kind of look like her with the shorter hair. In
I
that
love Margaret.
in that picture I sent you where she has short hair and she's drinking it like that, you really do.
That girl is fabulous. And I just love her. And I love because I'm not a big drinker, like I don't drink. And I love like on the show, she's like the one who's picking up the drunk people. Like she's the one who has it together and doesn't drink and kind of keeps her cool.
She totally does.
I love it. I just love her.
Mm, she totally does. I love that so much. I think that's like the perfect thing. We have
I
to
think we
find,
should.
you know what? Even if we could like watch one of the older like iconic episodes of Jersey,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
like knowing what we know now about all of them, and then like rewatching it from back then, that would be hilarious. Like when Teresa does her iconic table flip.
Oh, I would love to see that one again. Oh my gosh.
We could
Yeah.
totally on demand that shit. And then just,
Yeah.
oh my God, that'd be so fun.
It would be super fun. I love that. We should totally do that on
We
Monday. I
should,
love that.
we
Let's do it.
should. That's so funny.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
no, we were talking about something because I had went through this, like my recent relationship, has blossomed like extremely, right?
I no, I
Yeah.
love it. It's so wonderful to watch. Like I just love it.
Oh, thank you, Mel. Like I get emotional because we were, and there's a point to this. Eventually I'm gonna get there. But before we started recording, we were kind of talking a little bit about the relationship stuff. I was where you were at, and we're gonna touch on that because I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
women need to hear it. But I was very much there, and while I was seeing him, I did this kind of back and forth thing over the last couple of years where I'm like, no, I don't know. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. I don't know. And it was
Mhm.
like, it was a trauma response for me. And I had a lot of trust issues and insecurities. And then he had stuff going on in his life, and we just weren't on the same page yet. So it took us a long time to grow to get here, right?
Right. And
And
it's
now,
just so fabulous.
yeah, and it's really crazy. I'm actually
Yeah.
really blown away, like really blown away, that him and I are at this point now because it's really exciting, you know. So, but I know exactly how you feel and I want you to, if you don't mind, um, speaking on what we were talking about before we started recording.
So just so the listeners understand, this year I do not have anyone in my life, which is not the only year I've never, not had anyone in my life as a partner. But what's different about this year, like I don't want anyone. I'm in like this mode in my life right now that I just have no desire for a partner. And I feel bad for that. Like I feel like almost like ashamed for it, like because I feel as like I have always been conditioned to feel like I have to have someone in my life. And I've dated in the past. I have an ex-husband. And up to this point, I just have not found the right person. And I'm almost at a point where I've given up, but it's not that I have totally given up. It's because of the hurt I know that I have inside, the emotional damage and everything that I've gone through, that I just do not want to be with anyone. And it even stems from like, I know from my father, like the trauma that I just went through with my father. Like, I honestly can say when I'm around a guy or when I am like a guy is interested in me, I feel grossed out. Like I have like no desire for a partner right now.
Yeah. I understand that completely. Um, a lot of that is a trauma response. Now, I am not a licensed therapist. I'm only speaking specifically from when I was going to counseling, when I had a therapist and my own trauma, because my trauma is similar to yours.
Mm-hmm.
And our lives are very similar and our experiences are very similar.
Very
So
much.
I relate a lot to that because I went through that. And even when I was kind of trying to date the man that I'm dating now, it's like my trauma got in the way. I'm like, well, I don't, if anything didn't go my way, I would just back off very off and on. And I was like, it just kind of grosses me out to even be with anybody. I don't need anybody. I've been too
Mm-hmm.
hurt. Fuck that. I'm better off this way. I mean, someone's just going to come in and wreck my shit and all the progress I've made. Like, I literally had that mentality. And it stems from all of the trauma that you've been through, and you're jaded, like you're exhausted on a mental, physical, every kind of level you can think of. You're
Oh
exhausted.
my God, am I exhausted? I mean, I can't even deal with it. Like the last guy I talked to, like he came in, he was an old friend that I knew. Like we talked for a little bit. I probably gave him 3 weeks, to be honest. And I caught him in a lie. And it was a big deal. And I was like, boom, I'm done. And which is fine. He's definitely not the one for me. We have different value system, but it's just the fact that I just really do not have the patience, the time, the emotions. Like I am exhausted. I'm totally exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, and I think people, I have to say this because you actually said something that was really interesting earlier, and you had said like, I almost feel like I'm forced to date.
I do feel like I'm forced to date. Like I feel like I I feel like like I'm in this weird like alien ship, kind of like because everyone is all about like, oh, I have this partner, or I'm in a date, and you should have a partner. And it doesn't even matter if I'm with a man or a woman, it's that partnership.
Yeah.
And because I like go solo, I don't feel support. I don't feel like our society is supportive with that. And I feel like I'm alone. Like, like I'm not alone. Like I feel very comfortable like doing it, but I feel like I'm viewed alone.
Right, right. And people give you the
Yeah.
oh, so I understand that because it's funny because even though, I hadn't heard well, I say this and she's probably going to say it to me, but I hadn't heard my grandma in a hot minute tell me, when I'm going to get married. But, but I say that, watch, I'm going to get a phone call from her the
Right.
next couple of days and she's going to say it. But,
Right.
but it's true. It's almost like our society kind of shames people that are not in a relationship or are not married. Um, and then it's really kind of bizarre because if you're a woman and you've had children, then it's like, ooh, like that's gonna be
Right.
tough. That's gonna be tough for
Right.
you,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of judgment on it. And then if you are wanting a partner, if you're open to having a partner, which I am not like at this moment, but if you're open to having a partner, the process of finding a partner right now is really rough. In my early days of being divorced, I did the whole online dating, and that was like not successful for me whatsoever.
Right.
I mean, I won't even go that avenue ever just because of how unsuccessful it was for me. And I had a hard time with, a lot of people, and this goes to men and women on the online dating sites, is that there's so many people out there. First of all, you don't know how to like really keep up to really get to know someone. And then the grass is always greener on the other side. So you might be interested with someone at that moment, but if someone else comes along that's better, then the other person's off to the side. So
Yeah.
it's like, I can't do that. Like, that's just not my makeup whatsoever. Like, I know for a fact I can't do that.
I feel like it's like a version of like online, like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Like there's just
Right.
an infinite amount of choices, and then you're like, am I making the right one? What about this one? What about that? I mean, to me, it's just really. I don't like it either. I tried the
I
online
don't like
dating
it.
and I went on a couple of really, really bad dates and like I was
Right.
like, this is never happening again. So but I feel like people need to hear this that there's nothing wrong with being like, I can't do this. Like I am not in a place where I have any desire to date right now. Like there's nothing wrong with saying that. And I feel like um, you know, you saying, I need this time for me.
I
And
do. I
and
do.
yes, and you have a lot of goals and there's a lot of things that you want to do. You have stuff going on with your kids that you need to pay attention to. I mean,
Yeah.
and then you are putting in every effort to grow and heal yourself, emotionally and physically from the cancer that you just beat, from
Yeah.
all of the surgeries that you just went through, especially the most recent one that was like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You decided to take that really amazing step and do talk to someone professionally to help you because you've been through a lot and that's so important. And I feel like people need to hear that. Like, hey, it's okay to take care of you.
I
Like,
agree.
like just because you're not in a relationship with somebody or you're not married, it doesn't mean that you are less, you
No,
know?
not at all. And if that right person comes along, I'll be honest, I want to be healed. I want to
Yes.
be healthy. I will be honest, I am 44 years old and I am tired of toxic relationships. And a part of that is not just the person that I'm with, a part of it is that I have to heal from what I have gone through too. And I can't give to someone unless I heal myself.
Right. And I want you to know this, and I know you know this, but I want you to to hear this also because you are like you get really hard on yourself because you're like,
Yeah.
I have this goal, I have this vision, it has to be like this, and if it's not, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? So
Right.
so I do want to stress that none of us are ever going to be 100% healed ever,
Yeah.
right? And that's okay. That's okay
Yes.
because we evolve, things change, stuff
Yes.
happens. I mean, that's part of life. But as long as you are always gradually working towards that
Oh,
or you're
yeah.
aware or you've gotten over
Yeah.
a huge trauma or huge part of your conditioning, that's what we mean, right? By
Right.
being
Right.
more healed. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, I'll be honest, I'll be 90 years old, probably still listening to podcasts or still like reading, like self-help books. Honestly, because I feel like you're forever growing and learning and healing and, being a better person. So, yeah. And it is true. It's mostly for me right now is what I went through going with the cancer, which is huge, and a few other things. So,
Yes. And I think it's so important that people hear that you're like, I don't have any desire. I went through all this stuff,
mhm,
I have to take care of me first. And then maybe down the line, that's something I can revisit when I'm feeling it. I mean,
absolutely.
I think that's fucking awesome because, that's also something I'm trying to teach my daughter too. Is that, to not have that attachment or think that you have to have this person or these things to feel like you're complete, or that
Right.
you are enough, you know?
Right.
So, and I feel like this just aligns very well with the whole Valentine's Day theme because I also want to share. I saw something on social media which I really, really loved. I was on Instagram and I follow a few different body positivity influencers, right? And these are like great women. They showcase their stretch marks and their bellies and their natural bodies, and they're beautiful. And one of them, she was in lingerie, and she looked so gorgeous, and it was really cute.
Oh, I love it. Love
And
it.
yes, and she was like, you're allowed to be your own Valentine. If you like lingerie, buy it for yourself. Like
Oh, hell yeah. I'll be
Yes.
honest, like, even though I have no desire to be with someone, damn straight, my panties and bra look amazing under, like, what I wear underneath my clothes, I look freaking hot as hell.
I
So
feel better. Like I
I
feel
feel
better.
better too. Like, I always am like, depending, I mean, I'll be in like gym clothes and I'm wearing a cute little lacy, like black or red or pink, whatever I feel like doing that day, like
Hell yeah.
underneath.
I
Yeah.
love it so much. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's great because, I feel the same way. I was like, look, if my kiddos were not here or something, or like, I would definitely, especially on Valentine's, I would definitely be strutting around my house with a glass of wine and nothing but fucking lingerie and heels, you
Right.
know? Like,
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, seriously, I wouldn't care. I would do my hair and makeup and I would be feeling myself. And I mean, I just think that people
Yes.
like really, especially women need to see like, hey, you know, fuck what society has told us.
Yeah.
Let's show ourselves some love and
Yeah.
and like break the norm. Like, let's do this shit. So I really, really loved that post that she posted, that influencer on Instagram.
I
And
love that too.
it
I'll be
was
honest.
I mean, and she looks great and with her little rolls and stuff. I'm like, you look so cute. Like I was thinking she looks adorable.
Right.
And yeah, she was just like, buy yourself the fucking lingerie. Like, I don't know. It was just really good. It was just such a good positive message. And I feel like we as women, we need that because, the thing of, oh, I have to have a man or I'm not secure in my life or, I need somebody to support me. Things like that. It's so false.
It is
So
false.
false.
It's so false. When it comes to all of that, I feel like I've broken every rule of that, to be honest. Like, seriously.
Yes. Well, you know what I just thought about? You know what's really funny? Like, we love the Real Housewives, right?
Yeah.
We love the Real Housewives. And it's funny about this show is that it's really kind of turned into several of these women being single.
Oh, yeah. I love Heather from Salt Lake City. I mean, she's a single mom and she
She's,
owns a medical spa. Like, I love her.
I so look up to her. Yes.
Me too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I
So there's
know.
quite a few of them like that. Like, look at Bethany. Remember Bethany, like from New York?
Bethany Frankel. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. Well, she kind of was
Mention
in
it
that.
all. Mention it all. God, fucking Bethany.
I love her too.
I have a love-hate relationship towards that woman. But yes.
I follow her on TikTok and I giggle because I swear it's like she instantly comes up every single day for me. And she's doing something just super ridiculous. And I don't know. I do love that
God.
chick.
I want to talk about Heather Gay really quick because this goes into what we're talking about. The last episode, that dinner from hell, whenever Miriam Cosby was at the table.
Oh, Mary, she's so gross. Sorry. That's how I feel.
First of all, the way she was shaming the other women at the table for the most ridiculous shit.
I couldn't believe like the whole Lisa thing and Taco Bell.
No, she's telling Lisa Barlow, you eat Taco Bell. You need some nutrition. Like, what?
Lisa's like, I love my Taco Bell.
Yes, and she's like, and I love fine dining. So what, Mary? I mean, it was so fucking funny.
I know.
The argument, like, I'm like, what are we arguing about right now? Like,
right.
It's so fucking hilarious. But what I really loved, well, I don't say love. I mean, I really wish Heather would have. It was great for reality TV. But I mean, I really wish Heather would have just clapped back at Mary in another way. But Mary said, it's something about, she attacked Heather for not being married.
Well, she said that you don't have a husband.
That's right.
That's what she said to Heather.
Yes.
Which when she said that, I was like, ooh, I'm like, and then Heather, what Heather said back was great.
So good. She goes, and She's like, F you, Mary. You're married. Who are you? Who's your husband? You're married to your step granddaddy.
I died because it's true. If you know the show, Mary is married to, how does it work again? I gotta like, because it's weird.
She's married to her grandmother's husband.
Okay, so yes. So I don't think she's in any position to be like putting down anyone for not having a husband.
I don't know why, but like, I just want to sing that country bumpkin song where it's like, I am my own grandpa. Like, I just want to sing that when I see Mary's face because I'm like, what is happening in your fucking family?
Oh God, it's just gross. It's so gross.
Jesus. So, and she runs a church. That's what's really scary.
I know.
Scary as hell.
But Whitney always brings that up. I'm like, yeah, Whitney. I'm like, you're right. The fact that she runs a church is so crazy.
Yes, because Whitney's like, aren't we all children of God? Aren't you supposed to be like this kind of person? You're like a pastor, Mary. And she's like, what about me? I'm not supposed to like everybody. I mean, it was just so funny. I'm like, that woman is just straight up such a cuckoo bird. But I mean, I don't love the attack on Heather, but it just ties into what we're talking about, how she just straight up got shamed because she didn't have a husband.
Right.
And it's like, what are we talking about right now? Like, what year are we living in right now? So it's just, I also have to say this. I have noticed another thing is, and I really feel like this needs to be talked about. When women are married and they do not have an identity or a life outside of their husband or what their husband does.
Oh, I know.
I feel like that needs to be talked about as well, because it's almost like, well, it's not almost, it is. We as women have been groomed to feel like, okay, you have to, and we've talked about this several times before, be married, have your husband, your children, all da. Do all the things on the checklist that a woman should do, right? And women, even in my generation, which I find it very appalling still, is that they will literally just live for their husband. They'll talk about what he does, all these kind of things. They don't have an identity outside of that.
Right.
And their bios on their social media pages are like, wife to my hubby who's, whatever, construction worker and
physician, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And it's like, but who are you? Like, you're allowed to be your own person.
Right. Right. And I have quite a few clients of my own that are stay-at-home moms. They're devoted to their children. But I'll tell you what, I will give them props because I can only maybe think of two who are not, but majority of them are doing something with themselves. And I love it when they come in and they're like, I did this spin class, or I'm in charge of this. And it doesn't have to be like you're owning a company. It doesn't have to be like anything like that. But like, I have a couple individuals that I'm thinking on the top of my head, and they do classes. They do workout classes, and, they have, girl trips, and they do things outside of all of that. And so it doesn't have to be much. It's just like doing something for yourself.
Yes, exactly. And it's being your own individual.
Right.
While being in a relationship or in a marriage, whatever the case may be. And I feel like, people just get really hooked on the biblical principles because our country was founded on biblical principles, and the two should become one. Yada, yada, yada.
I know.
I mean, yeah, like you're one as in like you are on a united front. You are a team.
Teamwork.
Yes. However, you are both individuals.
Yes.
We're both individuals. And I feel like I just want our listeners out there, if you are married and you struggle with this, you are your own person. You are your own person, and that's okay. Like, that's okay.
It is okay. It is okay. For a long time when I was building my business, I really kept my business and my family life separate. And for a long time, people would be like, I can't believe you don't talk about your kids. I can't believe you're not. First of all, they're so little. I did not want to talk about my kids to a lot of people. And my business was my individually. That was me. And then when I was at home, that was separate too. So, I mean, it's okay to feel like as a mom, because I feel like too, that's another conditioning thing is I feel like as a mom, like our whole world has to be our kids, which in reality, majority of moms, our whole world is our kids. Okay. Just because I do not talk about my kids doesn't mean that they aren't the top of my list. Because
Exactly.
they're the ones who motivate me. They're the ones that is the reason why I have a business. They're the ones that I hustle. They're the reason of everything. But just
Hmm.
because I don't talk about it doesn't mean I'm a bad mom. It means that I don't want to talk about my kids to every single person on this earth.
Exactly. Now since they've gotten older, they do some crazy, hilarious shit. I
Oh, I
will,
love talking
I will,
about them now.
I will talk about some of that stuff with people. Because the
Right.
stuff that they say, I'm like, what? But
It's almost comic relief now. Like once
it
they
really
get older,
is.
and I remember people would be like, oh, wait until they get to be like 13, 14, 15. It's hell. I actually don't find it hell. I find it very entertaining. Like it's funny as shit.
Yes. I mean, I think so too. And so like, but I've got that before where people have been like, "Oh, you have kids?" Or like I've gone through this thing where I don't post my kids a lot on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people, that's fine. Your kids can be your cover photo. Your kids can be all up in your business. You can post your kids 24/7 if you want. But I wanted some individuality, you know.
Yeah.
I wanted kind of something that was mine because in my everyday life, you're like you said, there really are like everything, right?
They are my everything.
They're
Yeah.
yes, they're the driving force behind everything
Yeah.
that we do. I mean, I feel like we would have hustled anyway, but to the degree of when we know we have young people depending on us, it makes our drive that much stronger. And
Oh,
so,
yeah.
yeah, and I really feel that you were right in everything that you say. It's like my kids are my world, but but I still come first.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was talking to my children actually about this just last night because I'm trying to like preach and implement into my daughter about self-love and putting herself first. And I was like, think this little boy you have a crush on gives a fuck if you fail a class? No, it's not gonna affect him. You gotta get your life together.
Right?
You gotta focus.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm really trying to teach her, you know, self love, priorities, all these things. And I was like, guess who's number one in your life? And she was like, who? I was like, you.
Who? I love it. Who?
Not everybody else. Nobody else comes before you. You.
No,
You're
and
number one.
and when it boils down to it, if something happens, life crumbles, you know who's always going to be there? You.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're always going to be there. Yeah,
Yeah.
when it boils down to it.
Mm-hmm. And I feel the need to just stress this so hard because people tend to put so many other people, especially us as women, moms, wives, daughters, whatever.
We're conditioned to.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
put everybody, and I'm here to say, fuck that. And I love my kids so much.
Yeah.
But guess what? If I don't eat my Wheaties, if I don't sleep my 8 hours, if I don't get my meditation on in the morning or whatever it is, if I don't get my shit straight, then I'm going to fail. Not just
Right.
myself, I'm going to fail my children and everybody else around me.
That's
So,
so true.
yeah, and I feel like people need to get that in their brain. Like you have to nourish yourself. And there's nothing wrong with choosing to be single and taking care of yourself or being in a relationship and choosing to take care of yourself. Like that's a
Yeah.
that's a must.
I agree. I totally agree. And I'm in that position right now. That's where I'm at. So, and I'm good with it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, but you're going to get to the point when you're more healed and you are like on a steady stream. You've hit your goals and you're coasting. You're like, all right, this is good. This is good. And you're going to be like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah,
You are. You're going to get there. You're going to get there when you're ready.
I know.
But you don't. But you don't look happy about that.
I'm like, yeah, I know. We'll see.
You're so like whatever.
I know.
That is so funny. Usually most people are like, oh, you think so? And you're like, uh-huh.
That just shows how I'm just not like in that mode. Like there's just the I can't even see the light right now. Like I'm like I can't even see the light.
That was me this past September. That was me. You know.
So yeah.
I felt that. I mean, I know where you're at. I know where you're at with that. But I mean, shit. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I have to say though? I really commend you, Mel, because your level of self-awareness is amazing.
Oh, thank you. It's such a compliment.
Yes, yes. Well, you're welcome. I mean, it. I really mean it because not a lot of people can be like, look, this is what I need, and I've got to take care of me, and this is what I've got to do. I can't mess with anything else right now. You know,
no,
people can't say that. People
that's
can't.
true.
They really can't. It's tough for them to, you know, admit things and say, you know what, I've been through a lot. I need to focus on me, you know?
Right.
So
Thank you very much. Yeah. I do need to focus on me right now. I just do.
Yeah, you
It's
really
important.
do. I feel like something else we need to touch on with this wonderful, not your average Valentine's Day thing, since we're talking about love and self love and taking care of you and relationships and all the things. Um, I feel like if people want to keep things to themselves or their business to themselves, or they don't want to celebrate Valentine's Day, or they don't want to share their relationship with people or do the norm or any typical stuff, I feel like that is their right. And
Oh, yes.
yeah,
And it's okay.
and it's okay.
It is okay. And you know what? Not sharing stuff is okay. It's good sometimes. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
like you don't have to explain yourself to people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You
And
don't.
I don't, you know, and that's the thing. It's like I, I know, here's one thing I'm going to be very vulnerable about. I have had people be so ugly and so judgmental about my relationship, and I stopped sharing things. I have never even really posted anything on social media. I think I posted a couple times where he got me like flowers or something. Like rarely, like do I post stuff that he does for me, because I just don't want to hear it or see it.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy my privacy, and I really enjoy um those moments, those sweet moments to just kind of
Treasure
have.
yourself. They're
Yes.
your things. And yeah, and that is good, and that is okay. And you know, to be honest, I didn't even know his name when Ash and I we were talking for a while. Like, finally, I was like, "What is his name, Ash?" And she told me, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I just need to like put like a name to like the face I have in my head. Not that I've
Yeah.
ever seen him, but I just need to
Yeah.
kind of do this.
Yes, and it's so funny because it's funny because people always assume that I'm single, and I'm like, look, no, but like,
No,
I mean, I'm not, but I don't want to talk to you about anything like
no.
ever. And I just feel like it's nobody's business. Like it's nobody's business if you're
Mm-mm.
single or in a relationship or you've
No.
been married. You know, I mean, look, I was working from home for a few weeks, and I want you to know when I went back yesterday, was it yesterday? No, the day before. When I went back, I had an employee come up to me and be like, oh, where have you been? Did you enjoy your vacation? What were you doing? And I said, you know, you really are nosy.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you really are nosy. Who said it was a vacation? I was like, and is there something else I can help you with other than you?
Right?
I said, other than you trying to get in my business. And
Right.
he's just like, oh, and he just walked out of my office. But it really pissed me off because first of all, he invaded my personal space
Right.
and thought it was okay to just approach me. So I feel like there's absolutely nothing wrong
With
with,
being
yeah,
private.
with being private. Not everything you do has to be put on social media. Like I said, like my kids do I have some hilarious videos and so many pictures and all kinds of fun things in my phone that I don't share on
Yeah.
social media because like
Yeah.
I just love it for me and my kids, and we have this group chat and we'll just laugh and cut up, I mean, it's just I mean there's just nothing wrong with it. And honestly, I've gotten burned so much
That's
by,
where I am at. Yeah.
yeah, by sharing and trying to connect with people and being open with my life and my
Mhm.
children and my relationship, and people are just, not everybody, but a lot of people really enjoy tearing you down, because they're so miserable, you know?
Or using the information that you like, you put out there and just twisting it and using it against you and
Exactly.
twisting it, gossiping. I mean, it's people can be really, really ugly because they're miserable and they're fighting their own demons inside. And, it's okay to protect yourself.
Exactly. I mean,
Mhm.
if I couldn't even post a 10-year challenge picture, the difference of the 10 years how I
I was
looked.
so pissed over that. Like, I cannot believe that shit happened to you.
Yeah, if I can't post a before and after of a 10-year difference, what makes you think I'm going to post about my relationships?
No
Or,
kidding.
I mean, I'm like, what the
What?
fuck?
What the
So,
hell? I know.
exactly. And I feel like people get super depressed around Valentine's Day. I mean, not only just like holidays, but Valentine's Day more specifically, because if they're not up to this standard
Right.
of, oh, society says I have to do this and this is what I should be doing, and I'm not doing it, so I must be failing. Like, no, who gives a shit?
Right. And you got to do what really makes you happy. Like, honestly, what makes me happy inside is not to be in a relationship. That is where I'm at. And it really, truly makes me happy, you guys. Like, I am just enjoying this alone time and me working on me right now. And it feels good. It makes my heart warm, like totally warm.
I
It
think that's
does.
amazing. And I think more people need to hear that. You know, I mean, that's just so good for you to say, Mel. I mean, so many women need, especially women, need to hear that. Like, it's okay to do your own thing.
It is. And
Like,
I love it.
I don't know why, but I am getting so like hit hard right now. I just have this feeling like I keep on thinking about women that are married that don't really have much individuality or can't really be their own person outside of their marriage. Like
I do know, and I'll be honest. I feel like I was that person when I was married. Not that my husband's job was the stellar job, but I really devoted myself to him and to being a mom and to like having this perfect house and to just like I was not I when I think back to that time when I was married, I don't even feel like I was an individual at that point in my life. I was doing everything for everyone else.
right, exactly. I
I
get
do.
that.
And I was that person. And I know that feeling. I do.
Yeah.
So,
And it's so strange because I feel like women that are married or stay home, like I've seen some of them, especially like on Facebook. Um, I see there's this like group I'm a part of, which I don't really participate anymore. It's weird. But it's like a mom group. And I've noticed sometimes on the occasion I'll see posts and stuff, but sometimes the way these women like post questions or talk about things in the group, they're all about their husband. There's no like, I mean, I'm talking to the point where, when these women interact with each other, they know all about their husband's day and what their husband is doing and where they work and everything. Well, I don't know this, that. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, and I believe that because when I think back to when I was married, I even hunted with my husband. I actually like went out hunting with my husband to be a part of my like I was seriously all about my husband at that time and having a family and making it work. And I was almost changing my own identity just to make it work because I wanted it to work so bad that I actually wore camo. If you know me and you think about that, like that's like crazy,
That is
like
crazy.
totally crazy. Like
Unless it sparkles and it's pink.
right. There are pictures, I know, on my Facebook from years ago from when I was married. We lived in a log home and you see me actually with a bow and we're practicing shooting the bow. And
Oh my God.
yeah, yeah. And I actually went hunting with my husband at that time. We had 40 acres. And yeah, like I I was trying so hard that I changed myself. But I was so miserable. I was so miserable. And that's what I mean, I'm not gonna say that's what ended it because his actions ended it too. Like we weren't meant for each other. So when
Right.
it ended it, that's when I was more on the quest of being an individual. So
No, that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, it's crazy because it's like, your spouse, when you're married, it's like each of you should take interests in each other and what both of
right.
you like to do,
Absolutely.
and also try new things together. But just to completely be so far up your husband's ass, I was there too, so I can say it.
Yeah.
Everything you were saying, Ma, I did the same shit. I tried to like enjoy playing cards and gambling and stuff, and I'm like, I don't like this, you
Right.
know. Like, I mean, like it's kind of fun, but like I can't do it to that extreme. Like I can't. So I feel like you know the being so consumed by trying to fit this mold and then kind of shaming other women because oh well my husband da, da, da. I mean, to me it's just really gross behavior, and what it tells me is that you don't know who you are, and if your
Right.
husband leaves you tomorrow, you what are you going to be able to do? Like,
Right.
what are you doing? I mean,
Right.
I'm not saying women should be their own individual in that event. I'm saying, you should just take care of you emotionally and find joy and passion in your life.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's
Right.
like crafting and selling shit on Etsy or doing crossword puzzles or whatever it is you want to do, like you said, like going to workout groups or whatever, or doing those things.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's okay to have you be an individual,
Your
and
interests. Yeah.
yeah, and you don't have to do what everybody else is doing or what people have taught you or told you should be doing when it comes to relationships. And I feel like people need to hear this when it comes to Valentine's Day, because
Yeah.
you don't have to do that. I mean,
No.
if people want to celebrate it, that's great. If people don't, that's fine too. I mean, it's just so I feel like the pressure of Valentine's though, um, it really gets to a lot of people.
It does. And then you have people who like hate Valentine's Day because of the pressure. Then there's the anti Valentine's Day people. And honestly, we don't need to be anti Valentine's Day. There's no need for it. We
No.
could create our own Valentine's Day. And I'm all about creating that day to still be special, even though I'm not with someone.
Hell yeah. You know what I
Yeah.
did when I was like, uh, when my boyfriend was working out of town, and we weren't going to see each other. I was like, look, I really want to celebrate Valentine's Day my own way. And he was like, okay, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to go get my lips done.
Ah, love it. That's so something I would do.
I was like, what? I was like, yeah, I really want to go get it done. And it was the first time I ever went to go get lip filler. And he was like, okay, well, all right, well, have fun. Let me know. And I was like, okay. And so, like,
Bye.
I was so excited. I was so happy. I mean, and I still ordered takeout. Like, I still ordered, like, there was this
I've
amazing.
done that before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was this amazing Italian restaurant, like a little mom and pop Italian restaurant that I used to love. I still ordered takeout, and I came home. I had wine and pasta, watched a movie. I was
Love
like,
it.
yes,
Yeah.
hell yeah, my big ass swollen lips. So it was fucking great. I mean, I just feel like, and you know, there ain't nothing wrong with love. You know,
No.
showing yourself love any kind of way. So you know, even the love that requires some batteries, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. My God.
One of my favorite things.
Oh, I love it. One of my girlfriends that I know, she recently got divorced not too long ago. And she was like, I'm done with men. I'm just done, 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 done. And she ended up like seriously ordering like a crazy amount of self-love toys. Like a whole box full of like, I'm like, why do you need so many different ones? I'm like, maybe I need to be branching out. I'm like, like seriously, Jesus. She was like all about all the different stuff. I'm like, ooh, what's this? Like it's I actually got a pretty good lesson, but yeah, like I think I need to add some to my collection, but
yes. Yes.
But seriously, like, and that's what she ended up doing for, some time. And she was hurt. She needed to heal too, like her husband, ended up having an affair and it was hurtful. And then, she moved on. And actually now she's in a really cool relationship. So,
well, that's really awesome.
I know. I mean, she has a cool story.
She should also buy stock and batteries.
I know.
For that collection, Jesus.
I know. She was just all, I'm like, don't you just need one or two? No, she had a collection. So I was actually pretty impressed by it, I'll be honest. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Shay, it ain't cheap.
No, that shit's not cheap at all.
I have to tell you this, speaking of self-love toys, I have to tell you this. You can't return those things.
Why would you return them?
Look, I don't, there are people out there.
First of all, who would think that you could return them?
I think maybe people that
it's not like you can resell them. Like,
no, you can't. Oh, God. Oh my God. Well, so I went to this store.
Okay.
And I was actually looking for like lingerie and stuff. And I get to the register and I see the sign and it said something like no returns. And I just behind the cashier is literally like a wall of dildos. And I'm like, and I was just thinking to myself, no, like, no way. And so I asked her and I was like, do people really try to return things here? She was like, yes. I was like what? And she goes, and she told me the story about this crazy ass lady that came in with a box of dildos.
Like, no.
She said it was a big box. She came in, she dumped it upside down on the fucking counter. No. I was like, I need to get my money back on these.
That's so crazy.
I died. I was mortified for that cashier. Like, my jaw hit the floor. I was like, no. And she was like, yes. And she was like, I wasn't going to touch him. She said she got so mad when she was like, we cannot refund you for your used toys, ma'am. And
Oh my gosh,
yes,
that is so crazy.
yes, the cashier was like, it was clear they were used. And I was like, and so she ended up telling me that the lady got so mad that she ended up
No.
leaving them all on the counter
Oh God. Then
and
what?
walking.
Oh, then what? Then did she have to like, how would you dispose those things?
I don't know. I mean, you do, well, you can't put them in the recycling bin, can you? I mean, it's plastic.
Oh my God. Can you imagine the landfills with a bunch of dildos everywhere? Used.
Oh my
God. How
well,
did we get on this subject?
I don't even know. Well, that lady clearly had a lot of self-love. So
Clearly. You would need like a hazmat suit, I feel like. Like that's what I'm picturing in my like having this hazmat suit in the back, like having to put it on.
What is that? With an aspirator?
Right.
You know? You can't breathe in the air.
Right.
You can't breathe in the dildo air.
No, disposing those things. Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was fun.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
No kidding.
So, guys,
on that note,
yes. This has been a great episode. I feel like, however you guys celebrate your Valentine's Day, don't be afraid to celebrate outside the quote unquote norm.
Yeah. Do you.
Yes.
Do you, and just enjoy it.
Exactly. Do you, boo boo. Well, guys, that wraps it up for today. Thank you so much for listening to us. I will leave our information in the show notes for y'all to follow us, like us on Facebook, give us feedback, let us know how we're doing, or write into the show and we'll read your questions and comments on air. We love you guys. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you later.